Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome SolidWorks Vice President of User Experience and Product Portfolio Management, Aaron Kelly.
Good morning, and welcome to day 3. You know, day 3 is a little bittersweet. You know, it's the end of the conference, last day of the conference. But what makes it sweet of the bittersweet is that we have lots of surprises for you today. So in fact, this is a day that I am really excited about because if all things go well, we're going to have something special to show you later. Okay, how about last night? How many people went to the party last night? Show of hands. How many people went? Excellent. Most of you went. I'll tell you something. When I think of engineers and designers, I think of myself, you know, we're introverts. But you put together such a party. The planning people did a fantastic job. The right amount of food, drink, entertainment, the right amount of interaction. I didn't see any wallflowers there. I think proof positive the SolidWorks engineers and designers are not introverts, and they're people that you really want to party with. So fantastic. Last night got to meet a lot of new friends. I probably won't remember everybody's name, but when you come back next year and the year after that and the year after that, we'll get to know each other even better. And I also got to see a lot of old friends, which was great to, you know, I don't get to see them all the time, sometimes only once a year. So that was fantastic. So last night was great. I'm glad most of you had a great time. The last thing I did after I left the stage was I tweeted. I actually did it. I said I was going to do it, and I tweeted. So I thank you all for being part of that. It's under the hashtag SWW14. So your picture's there. You can tell everyone you're in the Twitter universe. And the last thing I wanted to mention before we start the program. So SolidWorks Industrial Conceptual, we showed on Monday. We teased it. That's where we can push and pull the surfaces, match them to curves. We can have surfaces and solids and features all in the same single environment. We mentioned Lighthouse. We mentioned the Lighthouse program that we're going to do in summertime period, okay? Summertime period. And we've just been getting lots of questions about how do I get into it, how do I get into it? I really want to see this, I want to be part of this. So what we've done is we put an email together, and it's only for you here. We're not going to do this out to the world, so don't tweet it or put it out. This is special for you. You made the trip here. So for those who are interested in finding out more about the industrial conceptual Lighthouse program that we'll do in the summer, you can email us at swlighthouse@3ds.com. swlighthouse@3ds.com. Just tell us who you are, your contact information, what you do, and what you're interested in, and we're going to get back to you in the next couple of weeks, talk more about it, and see if it's a fit, okay? Fantastic. All right. We're going to start off with our platinum sponsor, a partner that has teamed with us to sponsor today's general session. Why don't we just roll the video then, please?
The grid is, in our opinion, is a disruptive technology. It allows applications that are graphics intense, like SolidWorks, to be delivered in an online or a cloud-like format. The reaction from our engineers, who are SolidWorks experts, for the most part, is they can't believe that this tool provides the performance online that is comparable to traditional desktop applications, and the ability to use SolidWorks anywhere, anytime, on any device. So grid is essential to our company, and in our opinion, those not using the grid VCA as you go forward, you're going to be at a competitive disadvantage.
Excellent. Now, you may have thought NVIDIA was just a graphics card company, but they're doing way much more than that. Access SolidWorks anywhere. They're in the partner pavilion, so please, if you have time, go stop by and understand what they're doing. Platinum sponsor, NVIDIA. Thank you. NVIDIA has also sponsored our Model Mania contest. And Model Mania contest happens every single year. It's run by our friend Mark. He's worked at SolidWorks for over 15 years. I'm making a point to say how long people have worked here because we've been around for a while. He knows SolidWorks in and out. If I have a question with SolidWorks, how to run it, a feature that was put in 12 years ago, this is the guy I go to. He is the master model maniac. Please welcome Mark Schneider.
Thanks, Aaron. Thanks. Hello, everyone. So for the past 15 years at SolidWorks World, as Aaron mentioned, we hold a modeling contest in the partner pavilion. And what we ask people to do is to model a part, make a change to that part, and then after they do that, we ask you to run a quick little simulation. So these are the models that we've done for the past 15 years, just to get an understanding of what we have. We have a 20-minute time limit on this modeling contest. So imagine your boss gives you a drawing and says, hey, we got to cut steel in 20 minutes. I need you to model this part. And he comes back 10 minutes later and says, oh, by the way, here's a change you got to make to that part. So those are just some of the ones we've done in the past, just to bring back some memories for some folks who might have participated. For this year, the Model Mania 2014, here's our part. So we give you a drawing, ask you to do the modeling. No drawings, just do the modeling. This part here, you can see a round base, triangular features there that kind of stick out, some holes in it, and then maybe it looks like might be some shelling. Okay, everybody seemed to think it wasn't too bad for phase one. Then we give you this drawing. This year we had one dimensional change to make to the drawing, change the outside diameter, and then run some simulation. So when you compete, we judge the prizes based on accuracy. First, number one, part has to be perfectly accurate, and then what we do is we judge on times, whoever gets the fastest. The winners, we have a reseller category and a customer category, so they compete against each other. And the winners win these fabulous graphics cards from NVIDIA. And NVIDIA this year also supplied the Shield, which is their a really cool, high-powered handheld gaming device, which is really, really cool. So without further ado, let's bring up our champions. So again, we have reseller champions and customer champions. I'll first go through the customer champions, and I'll ask everybody to come up on stage. So while you're coming up on stage, I'll go ahead and kind of walk through a method to build the part. So our customer champions. Third place, Michael Wiggins from Delta Valve. Come on up, Mike. Second place winner, Andrew Lowe from DeMonte Group. And our first place champion, Tom Smith from CHL Systems. Tom had the fastest time with a finishing time of 9 minutes 53 seconds to do both sections of it. Great job. So for our reseller champions, third place winner, Jay Patterson from The Solid Experts. Second place winner, Radislav Zavrov from Shire Technique, Slovakia. Come on up, Radislav. Good. And our first place winner is Russell Richardson from Solid Solutions with a time of 11 minutes, 19 seconds. Come on up, guys. Get your due awards here. We'll send out all the prizes. I have all your information. We'll send the prizes so you don't have to carry anything back home. So here's our phase one part. Again, I give you a drawing. You get to study it for a couple minutes and then get working on it. So you can see an outer round shape, kind of the base is a round shape. It looks like it might be shelled on the bottom, and then you have this triangular shape that has some pockets in it as well, and then the holes through. So let's get started. I think everybody understands that a good solid foundation for a strong model is a good sketch. So I'm just going to draw out a couple circles here. If you've seen some of the information that we've done in the past with Model Mania, I think you understand that I'm a big fan of using contours. And the reason is if I have a lot of information up front, like we do in this case, I like to be able to tie that information together. And then when I add dimensions or relationships, they are maintained in that one sketch. So an edge doesn't go away, a face doesn't go away, and things like that. So I've just patterned these using the sketch pattern. I can see I have blue geometry, so I'm just going to drag it away to get it constrained up. And then we'll add some tangent lines here. I'm just waking up those circles, and then I can add tangency right on the fly while I sketch my line out. Last thing we'll do is we'll trim up our geometry, and that will be our first sketch. So we'll start with that sketch. All right, double click to exit out of the sketch, or in this case, we're just going to extrude this here. I'll choose two contours here. So the outer contour and the inner contour, extrude that back 15 millimeters. On the back side, I'm going to use the shell command. We'll take off, make a 3 millimeter wall thickness for that. Okay, we'll use that same sketch to create our triangular boss on the front. Again, I have using my contour select tool, I'm able to drag that one contour out by 20 millimeters. One of the things I did is I chose not to merge the result, not to merge this together. So I have two separate bodies now, and I can shell them separately. And I had to remember to go select that back face on that second shell. Otherwise, I'd have extra material in there. Then I just combine them, make sure everything's good so I can add my fillets. Here I'm just going to choose a fillet, and I'm going to use the selection toolbar that pops up and go through and find out which one might be right. In this case, I chose all concave fillets. One shot, I add all the concave fillets. It's not necessary to add the color to the fillets, but it helps me visualize that, hey, I didn't miss a fillet. You wouldn't believe how many people missed simple little fillets this year when, you know, it's one of those things that might help you understand and visualize. We'll change the material to plain carbon steel, and there you have it. So like I said, with the colors on there, I can rotate it around, see, yeah, did I get all my fillets? Looks like I got them all. In this case, I obviously got them. So your boss comes in, drops a drawing down. Hey, we got to change the outside diameter. Oh, by the way, we need to run some simulation on here. Here's your parameters. All right, let's see what we can do. Outside diameter changes. We'll change that from 100 to 84. Bam, what happened? Ah, man, I wish I didn't use contours. Some people always criticize me for using contours overly too much. Let me show you how to fix it. Just go and choose the other contours. Everything's good except the fillets at this point. So you just figure out, I'm just trying to tell you, there are ways to get out of these things, and that's one of the challenges with Model Mania. So I got a bunch of fillets that, hey, it can't figure it out. I'm just going to say clear it all, and I'll choose the all concave again. So I get all my concave fillets, check it out, make sure I didn't miss them. Those fillets, those vertical fillets on the back side that go up, those circular bosses, too many people missed those. So we're going to add this last fillet, or actually redefine this last fillet. One of the things that was pointed out on the drawing was the way these fillets terminate here. It makes it easier to manufacture, makes the part look much better. This isn't what we want right here. This is not what we want. What we want to do is repair that, or change that. So one of the ways to do that is reorder your fillets. That didn't work. Now I got another relation, or another edge that was missing. In this case here, it's still wrong. But what I did is I chose the keep surface option on the fillet. It's another way to keep a more continuous fillet surface along there, which actually gives you what we want. So it's one of those things, some people actually created that geometry by reordering it way early in the tree and then extruding additional material, but that's extra steps to add the extra feature. It's all valid, but it's just an extra step. Remember the keep surface option. Next thing we got to do is do our simulation. I like to use SolidWorks simulation. So I'll go through here, provide boundary conditions on a couple of these circular faces, cylindrical faces, and then we'll add our force. That force is going to go in the vertical direction, 10,000 newtons in the normal to that top plane. Fastest solvers in the industry. We'll use SolidWorks simulation solvers. About 2 seconds, we have our answer. We got a nice stress plot on the screen, tells us exactly what it is, but what we're asking for is what is the factor of safety? I'll just set my maximum factor of safety to 5 to get a better visualization here. And you can see at the bottom it says I have a factor of safety of about 3.2. Somewhere around there is the exact factor of safety. We ask you to enter that in the program, and we store all the information away. So that's it. That's our challenge for Model Mania 2014. And again, the fastest time is the one that wins, but it's all based on the most accurate parts. So let's give another round of applause for all of our champions up here. We're missing one. Congratulations. Congratulations. Great job. I'll send you guys cards. I got all your information, so I'll send you an email shortly. Thank you. Aaron.
Hey, buddy.
You want that? Or?
No, I don't want
Good.
that. You
Great.
can take it with you. Congratulations to you all. I am not worthy. I tried it. I could not come close to those times. You see how they have that simple-looking part. That's what lures you in. Oh, I could do that part, no problem. Then he throws the curveball at you. Make the change. Do the analysis. Fantastic. Model Mania is a great way to show how good you are at SolidWorks. You don't have to be the fastest picker. You don't have to be the fastest picker. You just understand what you're doing. And when you make that design change, that's where you're going to save all your time. So if you know SolidWorks, you're going to do well at Model Mania. I encourage next year, because you're all coming back next year, right? Yeah, yeah. And you're all bringing a friend, right? Yeah. Please sign up for Model Mania. It's great prizes, and you know, it's something that we all know how to do, and we'll just see how you handle that curveball that he throws at you. Okay. As we expand our product portfolio, you know, we've introduced a lot of new products every single year. You know, our certification program grows. So show of hands, how many people have a certification, either sales, marketing, or product, technical? How many people have a certification from SolidWorks? Excellent, excellent. How many people are still tired from staying out last night? Okay, a lot of you over there. That's okay, that's okay. We got a lot of exciting things. We're going to get you guys going. Okay, so here to talk about the future of certifications are two certifiable gents. Please welcome, a warm welcome from Mr. Avelino Roscino and Mr. Mike Puckett. Come on, guys.
Thank you. So, certifiable hiring. What's he going to think when he gets back to the office on Monday and discovers that all of his certifications have magically disappeared? What will he think about that, right? All right, so with the announcement of SolidWorks Mechanical Conceptual on Monday, today we'd like to announce the first 3 exams centered around this product. 2 of these exams will be for our resellers and 1 for our customers. The first exam will focus on the core modeling aspects of SolidWorks Mechanical Conceptual, and the second will revolve around the social and collaborative aspects of the 3D Experience platform. Additionally, in April, we'll release our first customer exam for this product, which will be an associate level exam.
A year ago at SolidWorks World in Orlando, we were really excited to announce that we had exceeded 85,000 certified users worldwide. Well, today we have, we're very excited to share with you another really important milestone for us. We have just last week exceeded 100,000 certified users worldwide. So. And actually, since last week, we're already approaching another 1,000 certified users. So for all you certified SolidWorks users out there, a big thank you. About an hour and a half north of here in Walnut, California, is Mount San Antonio College. Mount San Antonio College is a local community college that serves about 40,000 students. And what's more, they are a member of our Certified SolidWorks Associate Provider Program. So every semester, about 50 students from the engineering design class takes the CSWA as a final part of their, or as a final exam and part of their final grade. So the CSWA certification is actually working to advance the engineering career of many of these students. On top of that, both the instructor, the class instructor, and the chairman of the department are really working above and beyond expectations to really ensure the success of many of these students as well. So we have a video for you to show you exactly what they're doing over at Mount SAC.
Prior to getting my certification with SolidWorks, I was working at Papa John's Pizza as a delivery driver, and I was also working at Red Robin Gourmet Burgers as a host and a server.
Before I got my certification, I was working at a pizza place, and then I worked at a grocery store called Vaughn's.
I wanted to become an engineer by the age of 35, so I started pursuing, the SolidWorks certification classes.
Here at Mount San Antonio College, we have the SolidWorks that we provide to all of our students. Generally, what we do is students who come in, some of them have no idea what they're going to be doing with their life, and we bring them into our basic CAD class, which we would call at this point EDT, or Engineering Design 16. Over the last 8+ years, we've been incorporating it as well as getting jobs for our students.
So the SolidWorks certification that we offer here is the CSWA. And this basically demonstrates a core competency in the program.
I first learned SolidWorks from Jerry. I took both his EDT 18 class at EDT 24. And Max, once you get high enough in your EDT, he has a mailing list for all the jobs.
I came to school here, engineering school, and that's how I got into SolidWorks, the 3D software modeling that just blew my mind.
I feel the difference in our teaching method here is an exposure, giving them more and more exposure of the typical type of models that you'll see in the real world setting. And basically the CSWA is based on that type of work frame.
The benefits of the SolidWorks certification has a tremendous value as far as industry. A lot of students have come to us and said, you know what, once I put down CSWA on my resume, I got the calls.
I tell my students it's a tool to get into an interview. It'll at least get you looked at.
Going into my interview, they gave me a test to SolidWorks. They wanted me to do an advanced drawing, which had a lot of different complex curves. It didn't really bother me. I just became a breeze, because after you do the CSWA, you stop worrying about the little things and just get down to the task at hand.
Once I obtained my CSWA, it gave me the opportunity to move up to become an engineer design apprentice.
After I started taking the classes and I got certified, it opened up a bunch of doors with different companies that weren't available to me before.
Since I acquired my SolidWorks certification, it led me into this new job where I'm at right now, CW Industries.
Once I was in the field, I was able to actually show some of the other workers some interesting quirks that they actually hadn't heard of yet, because they hadn't had the background and hadn't been taught that.
With the success of CSWA, we've made a decision to start incorporating the CSWP. And there's a great interest, and I know there's a lot of students that can't wait to get involved in it.
I plan on going in for my CSWP and probably my CSWE in the future.
My boss is definitely aware of all the certifications that SolidWorks offers, and he's offered to me the chance to excel my SolidWorks certification.
I am actually currently getting ready to take my exam in the next 2 to 3 weeks to become a CSWP.
My goals in pursuing higher education as to certifications would be the CSWP, the CSWE, just to benefit myself, to prove that I can do it, and also to maybe get a raise or even be promoted to something better in the future.
It's just so awesome to see the passion these students have for design, for engineering, and for most importantly for SolidWorks certifications. And hopefully that inspires the rest of us to achieve additional certifications as well. So to talk a little bit more about the success of the CSWA Provider Program at Mount SAC, please join me in welcoming our Director of the SolidWorks Education Community, Marie Blanchard, and from Mount SAC, Max Lizarga and Jerry Miranda. Guys?
What Jerry and Max are doing is so inspiring. They use SolidWorks to teach their students and then get the best jobs, they get the best careers. With over 400 students that have gone through their program, I'm really happy to say that some of them were able to join us today. Wave, guys. It's videos like the one we did at Mount SAC that give us at SolidWorks that emotional paycheck, the feeling when we hear stories from you, our customers. But when the stories come from students, they are truly special. What makes you so passionate about SolidWorks?
Well, I think it's the commitment of SolidWorks to serve the industry, as well as industry's direction towards SolidWorks. The fact that SolidWorks makes it so much easier to teach, reduced keystrokes as opposed to other software packages, the easy to follow tutorials, which I use in my assignments, and then the certifications that SolidWorks provides to basically certify the student's knowledge.
Now, some of you are from different parts of the world, and you might not know about Mount SAC. Mount SAC has over 39,000 students. That's bigger than the town I live in, okay? And maybe some of the towns you live in. You two guys have pioneered the program at Mount SAC. Can you explain to the audience a little bit how you've done that?
Well, we're actually a team of faculty, so it's not just ourselves, and we work well together. But we have 3 SolidWorks classes or courses, and we have a beginning, an intermediate, and in the intermediate or beginning class, we go over cover letters, resumes, make sure that they're ready for the world of work, and it gives us a chance to get to know the students. Jerry teaches the advanced classes, and while the students are in the class, I focus on getting them jobs through listservs and other avenues.
So in my advanced class, we primarily focus on the CSWA, prepping the students for that. Right now, we offer it as a final exam. Next semester, we'll be offering the CSWA as a midterm, if you don't have it already, and the CSWP as the final. So.
Wow, the CSWA as a final exam. Now, I don't know about you, but I'm trying to forget my machine design final and my physics final. Really didn't take those home with me, but to have the CSWA as your final exam, it's really one to last a lifetime. Why do you give the CSWA as the final exam?
Well, it's industry confirmation that they're meeting their goals. And then our goal is to get them employed while they're affordable. They're just starting off. And some of the beginners might get a job on their first class, others will get it in the second, but they definitely start showing results on the CSWA and after that.
So yesterday I was having breakfast, and I was with Al from Oregon and Rob from Texas and Andrew from the UK, and we got to talk about recent graduates coming out of school. They all wanted students that had the ability to read a drawing and to make a drawing. Do you guys agree? Okay. And the one thing great about the CSWA, it leads to that proof, that fundamental competency that students can read a drawing, make a model and an assembly without really messing things up, that they have the confidence to do that. I'm curious, how do you build those relationships with industry?
Well, we utilize networking of our previous students, our former students, networking with them. We also utilize the local SolidWorks user group, which I ran the Los Angeles County SolidWorks user group for a number of years. But with having a full-time job at Oakley, which, by the way, these were designed.
They're beautiful.
Yeah.
I was admiring those.
Yeah, with the full-time job at Oakley and then adjunct instructing over at Mount Sac, I had to give up the user group. So we offered it up to some students, which they took on the user group, and now call it the Mount San Antonio SolidWorks user group, and hold local meetings, successful meetings, at the local VFW. So that gives it a casual way for students and industry to mix.
That's right. We actually have about, currently we're getting 50% of industry representation and 50% of the students. And it gives industry an opportunity to blend or mix with them and kind of have dialogue. And one thing that we do ask the students, though, because they may start off at a beginning level job and they move up, we ask them that if they vacate the job, they have to contact us so that we can recycle those jobs.
So they got to come back to you to get the next job. Well, you guys have come to us. You've made a commitment. You've expanded SolidWorks on your campus. Your licensing allows students to take a license home with them for home use to help them prepare not only for their classes, but for the CSWA exam. The CSWA Provider Program is available to schools on subscription that are qualified and meet the minimum license requirements. Today, it is given in over 36 countries in 13 different languages, helping students get the best jobs, start the best careers. I can't wait to share your story on My SolidWorks, but I think we need to help you write the next chapter. So, Max, how long have you been teaching?
At Mount San Antonio College, I'm completing my 21st year.
21 years. Have you had any surprises from those primarily young adolescent males in your audience from time to time?
Males and females.
Males
I get a lot of surprises. They're phenomenal.
And how many SolidWorks Worlds have you been to?
Looking at 6.
6, okay. And Jerry, how long have you been in industry?
I've been in industry for 22 years.
22 years. And how many SolidWorks Worlds have you been to?
5.
Okay. You guys are right on center stage at SolidWorks World. I have a few witnesses here, plus your students are here, and you know they can't keep a secret. On behalf of SolidWorks, for all you have done, what you've committed to us year over year, we are going to make available to you the Certified SolidWorks Professional exam to give to your students so they can go through to their next level in their career.
Beautiful.
What do you think of that, as Aaron Kelly would say? They're happy. Yeah. Now you got to go study. On behalf of all of us here at SolidWorks, I thank you for helping us do this segment, and have a great SolidWorks World. Thank you.
Thanks, Marie. Thank you. Thank you very much. Education, so important. Marie, she's an Energizer bunny. Oh my God, the energy she has. If we had 1,000 more of her, the future would be secure. Education is so important, and I implore you wherever you can, help students out. Help the future engineers and designers who are going to shape our world out. Fantastic. Okay, another of our partners, another one of our platinum sponsors that helps make all this happen is Dell. And Dell has been supporting education for a long, long time. Why don't we roll a short video?
SolidWorks creates powerful software tools for all aspects of product design. It's important for us to deliver the best performance and experience to customers so they can increase their productivity and innovation. SolidWorks 2014 is the latest example of this commitment. For years, we've worked closely with Dell to make sure SolidWorks software runs great on their precision workstation products. Our strong relationship with Dell extends to certification, testing, performance, and the selection of the right system for the job.
Back in September, Dell invited us to their headquarters in Texas, where we visited them, and we were introduced to a new tool from Dell called the Dell Precision Performance Optimizer, the DPPO, which was pretty exciting to us because it's a tool that lets our users make sure that their hardware is being run at the optimal level so that SolidWorks can perform at its best abilities.
Dell Precision Performance Optimizer is the world's first automated workstation performance tool. It works by tuning the most important aspects of the workstation to run SolidWorks software at its best. For example, as you're designing, interactive performance is much higher, so you can get your ideas modeled faster and ultimately maintain creative flow in the design process.
Because we understand how critical reliability and performance are to our customers, we only recommend workstation products that can provide our users with a great experience when using SolidWorks. That is why our partnership with Dell Precision has always been such a good fit.
So the right combination of hardware and software really sort of speeds up the whole process and helps designers with their time to market. And it also allows them to iterate many, many times in that process, so it really allows them to do their best work. But I think the most rewarding thing out of all of this is seeing these amazing projects that come to life using Dell and SolidWorks technology. And if you're in the CAD business, the future's looking very, very bright.
Okay. You know, it's really, really important when you go visit our partners up in the pavilion to see what's happening. Things are evolving every year very, very quickly. And for Dell, same thing. They have this new optimizer. You have to check it out. I saw one of their there was someone in the conference using one of their mobile workstations. And I looked at it and I lifted it up. It was very light. They matched the beauty, performance, lightness, everything you want in a mobile workstation. So check it out. Check out the optimizer. They're in the partner pavilion. Okay, and the next part of our program, big way that we listen to you, and we pride ourselves on this. This has been since day one. What do you want us to do? Either it's direct enhancement requests or when we come and visit you, and we do hundreds of visits a year to customers. It doesn't count if we talk to you here. We have to go on site. We have to see the pain. We have to see your challenges. We have to come up with solutions for that. But one big way that we listen to you is direct enhancement request input. We build SolidWorks exclusively on your input. Here, next gentleman is going to kind of give you the report card. And I think this is important, because every year you ask for stuff, and then we have to report back to you how we did. And then you can judge and see how we did. So the next gentleman has been with DS SolidWorks for over 10 years. His middle name is Customer Focus. His team visits literally hundreds of customers a year to get this input. Here to reveal the top 10 enhancements, Mr. Bruce Holloway. Come on out, Bruce. All right, buddy.
Thanks, Aaron. Thank you. So we know that the first step in creating a great software product is to listen to our users and understand your needs. Because we need to make sure that we're focusing on the things that are most important to you. So the top 10 is just one way we do that. We have many others. For example, every year we receive thousands of enhancement requests via the enhancement request site on the customer portal. 6,700 this past year. And these don't just go into some database. Each one is carefully reviewed by the team in R&D who does the planning for the next release. We also listen via the forums. SolidWorks forums incredibly active. 150,000 registered users, millions of visitors. Everybody's on there discussing ideas, asking for some input, suggesting things. We're always watching. It's a great place for us to get ideas. You probably know we do a pile of surveys every year, and we're on other forms of social media. But despite all this online activity, we still put a priority on meeting you face to face. And of course, that's what we've been doing here all week at SolidWorks World. And it happens every week at one of the 230-something user group meetings around the world. All this face-to-face interaction has some interesting effects. First, it gives us an emotional connection to our users and the challenges they face. You see, for the guys at SolidWorks, improving the product, it's more than just a job. It's truly a passion. We feel great when we can improve the product, and we feel pretty lousy if we disappoint you. So, I'd like to go on to the top 10 for this year. Cool thing about the top 10, it's completely controlled by you. And it's completely transparent. Anybody can suggest an idea, view everyone else's ideas, vote on them, and we just sit back and watch the results tally up. Second cool thing about the top 10 is we act on them. Over the past 14 years, we've implemented the vast majority of all items on all top 10 lists. So let's take a look at some enhancements that went into SolidWorks 2014, which came directly from the top 10 list. So when you're mating two components and you select the faces, typically you want coincident, except if they're both cylindrical faces or an axis associated with a cylindrical face. In that case, you want concentric. Great idea. You put it on there, it saves some time. Next enhancement. Similar thing. When you're mating planar faces, again, typically you want coincident, but if there's a geometric condition why they cannot be made coincident, why throw an error? Why not jump to the next most logical solution and save you some time? Great idea. And by the way, slot mate, let me do the slot mate here. So, I'm sorry, lock rotation. Everybody has fasteners in their models, and I don't think anybody takes the time to put the extra mate to lock the rotation, so you deal with those extra open degrees of freedom. You guys asked for a way to easily lock the rotation and remove that degree of freedom. We put it in there so it works on the concentric mate, and you can also select many concentric mates or select the whole mate folder and lock them all at once. So now your degrees of freedom will be much more organized. You'll see much fewer of those minus signs in the feature tree. Okay, next one. Slot mate, my personal favorite. Slots are very common, and of course, there's an inherent limit in a slot mate. You know, I mean, your fastener or your pin stops at both ends. It was possible to get that effect through limit mate, but it required a lot of work. The slot mate is awesome. Just a couple selections, and you've got it working, and there's some cool options to keep it centered and percentage along. We also put slots in the hole wizard, too. So kind of a slot theme for 14. Next up, center of mass. So this is another thing that there was a workaround. You could create a point and drive it with dimensions and put some relations on. And I think there was something floating around the forums. You asked for the feature, we put it in there, and it's really handy. It automatically is always at the center of mass for the part, subassembly, assembly. You can mate to it, dimension to it, create features from it. It's a really handy feature. Next up. Look closely at that table. When he zooms in, it's perfectly flat, smooth. Zooms out, you see the edges. So that was actually a little graphics glitch. And I guess we put up with it for years, but finally you guys insisted by putting it on the top 10, we pay some attention and get rid of it. And now it's cleaned up in 2014. Next. So when you delete a feature, all the downstream features that were logically dependent on it, you were forced to delete those in the past. You asked for a way that we could suspend or dangle them, basically not delete them. Yes, they go into a temporary error state, but you can reuse that work after the fact when you substitute the feature you've deleted. So nice enhancement. And last up in 14, okay. Self-explanatory, put e-drawings on the Android devices. All great stuff, and really, you should thank yourselves because they're all there because you voted for them and forced us. So let's take a look at the top 10 for SolidWorks World 2014. So this year, what we did, we asked, jumping ahead here, we asked our employees from around the world to announce the results. Now, the words they're speaking are exactly what was suggested through the top 10 forum. And the text as well is exactly the comments that you put in. But our employees are announcing the results with these selfies. So let's take a look.
For standard mates, once I select the face of the first component, hide it or make it transparent, so that I can select the face of the next component through it.
New purge command.
Whole callout should include all instances on the same face.
Fillets and chamfers should be managed by the same feature, so we can replace a chamfer by a fillet at will by editing the feature's properties.
Ability to flip angle dimensions after they have been placed, drawings and sketches.
Unlimited undo redo.
Pressing the escape key should instantly stop the current calculation and return the control of the interface back to the user.
Draw a line segment starting from the midpoint.
Ability to rename part or sub-assembly in the feature tree.
Okay, and now for the #1 SolidWorks World 2014 enhancement request. Let's take a look.
Equal spacing options for linear patterns.
Thank you, guys. As usual, we have our work cut out for you, but you should know we will never stop listening to you. We appreciate all the ideas.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Bertrand Sicot.
Wow, what do you think of that? Well, you know, it's a very large event. And you have seen that we have platinum sponsors helping us so that every year we can really organize such a great convention. And I want to bring on stage our partner and give them the reward for the year. So please welcome on stage with me Sun Young from HP, Andrew from NVIDIA, Scott from Dell, and Martin from Intel. So guys, come on up. A nice score. Very nice score. Thank you. Thank you. I have to be careful, so they are printed. So, thank you. Just down the line, we are going to take a picture of that. Here we go. Here we go. Thank you, guys. Picture of all of us. Thank you to them also, because without them, we cannot put SolidWorks World together. Great. Thank you. Wonderful. Thank you once again. So, it's already the last day of SolidWorks World. We are almost at the end. You know, let's have a look of what happened over the past 3 days. This year, it's all about inspired people creating inspired design. You know, I like this video because it's all about you, nothing else. So normally, just after that, we tell you where we go next year. But before that, I would like to make a video of all of you. But I'm going to ask you to do something. You are going to say, all together, I will come to SolidWorks World 2015 next year, and I will bring a friend. What about that? OK? So we do one time for rehearsal, right? I will come to SolidWorks World 2015 next year, and I bring a friend. OK? Let's go. I will come to SolidWorks World 2015, and I will bring a friend. So that next year, we can be 12,000 at SolidWorks World 2015. OK? We do it again, and I record the video. Let's go. Woohoo! Now you are committed, because I'm going to put that on Facebook, on YouTube, on Twitter, Google+, everything. My boy Benjamin is going to teach me that, because... Anyway, so now that you are committed to come to SolidWorks World in 2015, yes, with a friend, you better know where we go. You want to know where we are going next year? So let's roll the video. So, you know, yesterday during the special event, I gave some information. I said, it's not going to be in Boston because of the weather in January. So we go to a warm place, right? So I guess now it's time to say goodbye, have a safe trip home, and see you next year in Phoenix, Arizona. Take care.